I'm Dr. Duck Vong. I'm going to show you how to make a nice, easy beginner smoothie. And I'm going to add something for your allergies. I'm going to use some bee pollen. So if you're new to me, I highly recommend green smoothies. First thing you need to know about green smoothies, they don't have to be green. Green refers to the greens that go into the smoothies, not the final color. So depending on what you add, it might or might not be green. In fact, I think today's will probably be a pink if I had to guess. So what will you need to make a green smoothie? And I recommend a green smoothie every day in place of breakfast. This is your breakfast. It's not in addition to your breakfast. If you're trying to lose weight or get healthy, you might have to start adding a green smoothie before taking away your breakfast. But ultimately, you want to get to a point where this is your breakfast. If you're doing intermittent fasting, which I highly recommend, you can use a green smoothie to break your fast. That's fine. That's also fine. I get that question a lot. But what will you need? You will need a emulsifying blender. I have a Ninja. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't have any sponsors, but I like a Ninja. I bought this. I was still in Albuquerque. This is probably 2015 technology, so we are talking 6 years, and I use it almost every day. My 5-year-old loves her green smoothie, and it works. A regular blender will not work. A NutriBullet's fine. A Ninja's great. If you want to get it really fancy, get one of those. What's it called? That makes the soup and stuff. That's if you want to spend $600. But not a regular blender and not a magic bullet, a NutriBullet. All right, so come down here with me on my countertop. You'll need I recommend a banana or an avocado. If you're allergic to bananas or if you're trying to do something more low carb, just use an avocado. You don't even need half. I would just say 1 sliver of this because this really thickens up your smoothie. You'll need your green. I like organic baby spinach, and mostly because the spinach lasts for a long time, but you can use a power mix. You can use a spring mix. But some of those other leafy greens in there, they'll go bad on you. I also, in the springtime and wintertime here in Houston, I'll use leafy greens for my garden. You'll need some sort of fruit. If you want fruit, I also have some frozen fruit here. If you use frozen fruit, then you don't have to add ice cubes. Most of the time I use blueberries. I just happen to be out today. There's a tropical mix that's fantastic. I have cherries today. Super high in antioxidants would be fantastic. If you're trying to be lower carb, skip the banana, use an avocado instead. And all of your pitted fruits, if it has pits in it, are lower carb. So your cherries would be great. Your nectarines would be fine. Peaches would be fine. And your berries are actually lower carb, relatively speaking. So blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, those would be fine fruits if you're trying to be lower carb. If you're not trying to be low carb, you can do anything you want. Then you need a liquid. I prefer original organic soy milk. I do not recommend using any flavored like vanilla, chocolate. That artificial flavoring really throws off the flavor. And you have so much flavor from the fruit and stuff that it's really amazing. And no, you do not taste the greens. For those of you who are going, gross, do you taste the greens? No, you don't taste the green. Quit making shit up. Okay, so use some sort of liquid. I like the combination of soy milk plus coconut water. If you use coconut water, it's got electrolytes for you. It's naturally sweet. Do not add any sweeteners. You won't need them. You can use almond milk. You can use oat milk. I've used hemp milk before. Hemp milk is very kind of earthy. I find this combination is very easy. Please try to avoid dairy. I do not recommend dairy. Dairy is very inflammatory, a bunch of chemicals, a bunch of hormones in it, and really not good for you. But Dr. V, I heard that soy milk is bad. It raises estrogen levels. It's bad for breast cancer patients. Yeah, guess who put out those press releases? The milk industry. The dairy industry did a lot of stuff to try to discredit soy milk. And so I wouldn't believe them. You're fine. There's really not been any major studies that's shown any detrimental detriment to taking soy milk. So let's get started. Oh, and then lastly, this is bee pollen. Not honey. I have pretty bad allergies. Sometimes people like make awful comments about me scratching my nose or touching my nose, and they're like, he looks like a coke addict. I'm like, man, I wish I'm not that interesting. I've never done any drugs in my life, so I'm not that interesting. So this is really from allergies, and the best thing for your allergies, guys, is bee pollen. Dr. V, I heard you can use honey. Local honey. Local honey is okay, but local bee pollen is much, much better. And this was introduced to me in Albuquerque when I was there. And an anesthesiologist gave me some bee pollen, and my allergies went away the next spring. So you really want to have this on board, like at least in the fall to get ready for the spring. It's really, really great. And this is here locally in Houston. I was actually walking around Galveston, and a guy had a local honey stand, and he had bee pollen. And this was like $10, $11. This will last me for my 5-year-old will be in college before this is done. And no, this will not make your smoothie taste sweeter. Bee pollen has a kind of an earthy taste to it. It's not sweet though. All right, so and it's fine for diabetics. I mean, a lot of questions about diabetics. And no, this will not jump up your blood sugar. If it does, it'll be a temporary spike. In fact, a lot of people go, Dr. V, I'm diabetic. I can't have a green smoothie. It makes my blood sugars go high. Really? Have you checked your bacon and eggs and potatoes and tortillas and your pancakes? That's better. Do you think your bagel's better? Trust me. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is use a banana. I use a banana. I really like the texture. I really like the sweetness. But again, if you're trying to be low carb, you can skip it. You shouldn't be low carb 100% of the time, and you also should not be intermittent fasting 100% of the time either. Today, I'm just going to add a little small. Just seriously, don't do much. I'm not even going to take out the seed. Oh, the seed's going to come out anyway. I'm just going to take a little dollop. So avocado is great for you. Has some nice healthy fats for you. And I would normally use blueberries, but all I have are frozen cherries today. These happen to be tart. This will make it nice and cool. Just drop a little bit here. And notice how accurate I'm measuring everything. I mean, it's pretty stinking crazy, right? Like, you have to be so precise. This is so hard. Of course, I would forget my knife. And the thing about this nectarine, this is actually nectarine. You see right here, this nectarine has been in the fridge. Why? Because when I got it home, it got bruised from probably just putting it in a grocery bag. And it was getting overly ripe. I mean, you can use fruits that are overly ripened. Would be great for your green smoothies, or bruised or damaged like that. They don't have to be perfect, but put them in the fridge so they're a little bit cooler, and look how easy that is. Just put that out. You see that? See that bruising right there? Dr. V, don't eat that. Why not? What's wrong with that? Nothing. Boom, drop it in. You can do the whole avocado. I'm kind of sort of, let me see. See if Dr. V cuts himself. Who's under? Should I try to squeeze that in there? I'm kind of getting into overload. So you don't want to overstuff this. I'm going to leave this out, and we'll see. Trust me, I made the mistake of overloading. And then you're just going to take your spinach, grab a handful of spinach, toss it in there. That's all you got to do. Push it down, squinch it down like that, right? Nice, easy. And then we're going to take my soy milk. How much do you put in? How much do you measure? You don't have to, guys. Just make it easy. Just really, probably almost halfway up, a little bit less than halfway up, because I want to leave a little room for my coconut water. I promise you, if you have tried a green smoothie before and you didn't like it, add coconut water. I'm telling you, coconut water will take this up. Now, remember what I said about avocado. Avocado will really thicken your smoothie. So if you put a lot of avocado, it's gonna grow. It's gonna be real thick, and you'll need more liquid. Now, get that lid on there nice and tight. You don't want any messes, which trust me, I've done that before. Flip this upside down and just let's rock and roll. There we go. Every now and then you want to pop this up and knock it down like that. And you notice this is kind of a beige, pinky color. Why is it not green, Dr. V? Well, because I used, peach and I used cherries. Now, some of you guys are probably yelling at the screen right now, Dr. V, you forgot the bee pollen. I totally forgot the bee pollen. But that's okay. Just open this up. And with the bee pollen, all you got to do is literally, I could just put this right into the smoothie, but I'll show you. You're not going to taste the bee pollen in your smoothie. Literally just a little pinch of bee pollen like that. Fantastic for your allergies, man. I'm telling you, this is fantastic shit right here. Drop it right in there. Yeah, trust me, your husband won't taste it. Your little kids won't know it's in there. My 5-year-old loves her green smoothies. She asks for it every day. And I put bee pollen. Whip that up again. Now, what you'll notice about this is that I drink it right out of this, but just for you guys, I'm going to demonstrate texture. One of the amazing things about green smoothies and why I use them on my patients is because immediately after weight loss surgeries, patients often, they have to go back reintroducing food. So a lot of times we start with liquids. And I tell them after their first week, they can add a green smoothie back in. And I say, just make it real thin, just make it real watery. So depending on how much liquid you put in here, check this out. Let's see how this looks. See, that's pretty runny. That's pretty good. Wow, that is really good. You can really taste the nectarine in this one. Very nectarine-y. I say, Dr. V, I love the green smoothies, but I get hungry a couple hours later. Or I get hungry at 11 o'clock at work and my lunch break isn't until noon. Make it a little bit thicker. See, that's nice. That's pretty thin. Make it a little bit thicker. No sweet. I'm going to leave this for my little one. And you can kind of see it's really blended nice and smooth. There aren't chunks. That's why you need the blender. The avocado, you don't really taste because I didn't put that much in it. You definitely don't taste the spinach. You taste a hint of banana. You don't really taste the bee pollen. A slight hint of banana, nectarine, and coconut is what I would call it. Sometimes people get all bugged and bothered. Somebody one time got mad at me because they were like, we own a dairy farm and that's not true. I'm like, how big was your dairy farm? We had 100 cows or whatever. So all right, I'm going to save this for my daughter. I'm going to drink this.